I arrived at clinch practice expecting chaos and immediately observed the first beginner mistake. Standing upright like a confused lamppost. Tall posture in clinch looks confident, but actually turns the neck into a convenient handle for anyone with functioning arms. Chin high, spine straight, hips far away. Congratulations, that entire balance system now depends on hope and weak neck muscles. Better approach. Knees slightly bent, hips closer, spine relaxed. Clinch is wrestling gravity while negotiating knees to the ribs. Another popular beginner strategy involves squeezing the opponent's head like it owes them rent money. Efficiency rating, extremely poor. Over squeezing burns forearms quickly. Meanwhile, opponent calmly breathes, waits, then casually dumps the exhausted human onto the floor. Clinch grip should guide posture, not crush skulls. Think steering wheel, not hydraulic press designed for recycling cars. Now we observe missing hips. Beginners clinch only with arms while their hips wander somewhere unrelated to combat physics. Hips are the steering engine of clinch balance. Arms simply transmit instructions to the opponent's nervous system. Slide hips closer, align chest pressure, and suddenly the opponent feels like gravity changed departments mid-round. Pulling straight down on the head is another classic beginner invention. Unfortunately, it mostly improves opponent posture. Clinch works through angles, pull slightly diagonal, rotate shoulders, then gravity politely assists with knee delivery. Speaking of knees, beginners launch them like excited fireworks without confirming opponent balance first. Unbalanced opponent equals safe knee. Balanced opponent equals free counter, elbow, or embarrassing sweep demonstration. Correct sequence, control posture, break balance, then knees. Systems thinking improves both damage output and personal survival.
Beginners often grab only behind the neck while ignoring inside arm position entirely. Tactical oversight detected immediately.
Inside arm position controls space. Lose it, and the opponent installs elbows directly into your daily schedule. Simple rule, elbows inside, frame tight, head controlled. Suddenly the clinch stops feeling like random wrestling chaos. Leaning forward during clinch feels aggressive. In reality, it quietly offers your balance to the opponent as a gift. Stack head over hips, hips over feet. When alignment works, the opponent carries their weight and yours simultaneously. Clinch should feel structured, yet beginners treat it like two shopping carts colliding inside a supermarket aisle. Small step fix this problem. Feet constantly adjust underneath the hips, like quiet engineers stabilizing a collapsing bridge. Crossing feet during clinch instantly deletes balance privileges and invites a dramatic trip demonstration from your partner. Instead, circle subtly. Tiny steps create angles that make knees land harder with far less energy. After 20 minutes observing beginners, the optimization report reads, posture issues, balance leaks, and unnecessary arm exhaustion. Another quiet mistake appears quickly. Beginners forget breathing entirely while wrestling for control inside the clinch. Oxygen management matters. Calm breathing keeps muscles responsive instead of converting arms into slow, panicking noodles. Shoulder tension spreads like bad software through the whole body, destroying timing, posture control, and knee efficiency. Relax shoulders, tighten structure instead. Efficiency prefers skeleton alignment over desperate muscle squeezing contests. Beginners also stare downward during clinch, apparently studying the floor instead of the dangerous human attached to their neck. Eyes forward improves balance and awareness. Also helps detect incoming elbows before they reorganize your facial geometry. Wide elbows appear next. This configuration politely opens the ribs and neck for opponent knees. Tight elbows close doors. Opponent suddenly discovers fewer targets and more resistance while attempting offense. Flat feet during clinch, slow reactions dramatically. Balance becomes static instead of adjustable. Stay light on the feet. Micro adjustments allow quick angle changes before the opponent launches their knee artillery. Beginners push opponents away randomly. Forgetting clinch control disappears the moment distance opens. Push should create angle, not escape. Off balance first, then step and deliver knee like a scheduled system update. Panic grip switching happens frequently when pressure increases. Structure dissolves faster than ice cream in summer heat. Keep one stable frame while adjusting the other. Systems prefer controlled transitions, not frantic wrestling improvisation. Head position matters more than beginners expect. Proper head pressure quietly disrupts opponent posture without dramatic effort. Forehead beside jaw creates leverage. Suddenly, your partner's spine negotiates with angles it did not request. Beginners chase offense constantly. Forgetting the opponent also enjoys knees and elbows very much. Good clinch includes defensive layers, frames, hips, and elbow position quietly intercept many incoming attacks. Static clinch equals predictable clinch. Predictability invites sweeps, knees, and uncomfortable physics demonstrations. Continuous micro movement solves this. Rotate slightly, step lightly, and keep the opponent solving new balance puzzles. Some beginners hold the clinch forever without attacking, apparently waiting for philosophical clarity. Control must produce offense eventually. Knees are the entire business model of Muay Thai clinch. Efficient fighters treat clinch like engineering. Stabilize, off balance, strike, reset, repeat. When beginners ignore structure, fatigue arrives early and technique collapses into confused wrestling. Fortunately, every clinch mistake is correctable with structure, patience, and many rounds of sweaty engineering experiments. Another frequent beginner problem appears when both fighters freeze inside the clinch, politely waiting for something productive to happen. Efficient clinch requires constant pressure adjustments. Tiny pulls, pushes, and steps quietly manipulate the opponent's balance every second. Beginners prefer large, dramatic movements, which unfortunately broadcast intentions like a public announcement system inside the gym. Small movements remain invisible. Opponent realizes balance disappeared only after gravity begins negotiating aggressively with their feet. Throwing knees without grip adjustment appears again. Arms stay frozen while the lower body tries solving physics alone. Efficient fighters adjust grip slightly before every knee, guiding the opponent directly into the strike path. Leaning sideways during clinch feels powerful, but quietly sacrifices stability and opens the door for elegant sweeps. Instead, keep center balance while the knee rises. Structure stays stable while the strike travels efficiently. Some beginners lift the knees extremely high like enthusiastic marching drills, which slows the entire attack sequence. Clinch knees are compact and direct. Short path, quick packed, then immediate reset for the next strike. Another pattern appears. Beginners attack with knees while completely abandoning defensive structure above the shoulders. Maintain elbow frames during offense, knee strike, while arms quietly prevent the opponent from launching these surprise counters. Standing chest to chest removes leverage advantages and transforms clinch into awkward, slow wrestling. Create slight angles instead. Even small rotations dramatically improve control and knee targeting opportunities. Beginners often overreact to every movement, constantly resetting grips instead of maintaining efficient control. Small grip corrections work better. Adjust one hand while the other preserves structure. Trying to resist every push wastes energy quickly. Clinch rewards adaptive balance instead of stubborn resistance. Sometimes allow the push slightly, then redirect the opponent into a knee or off balance position. Ignoring sweeps is another educational moment. Opponents happily remove your base when feet placement becomes careless. Solid base requires mindful foot pressure. Each step maintains balance before the next attack begins. Tired beginners often hang on the opponent's neck like a backpack, hoping the round ends soon. Even while tired, structure matters. Good posture allows rest without surrendering control completely. Advanced clinch looks calm because fighters conserve energy through structure instead of frantic muscular effort. The rule remains simple. Control first, damage second. Reverse the order and chaos immediately follows. By this point, the pattern becomes obvious. Most beginner clinch problems come from chasing power instead of structure. Once structure improves, the clinch transforms from chaotic wrestling into a predictable engineering system. Posture becomes the foundation. Every grip, step, and knee now builds on stable alignment. Hips quietly steer the opponent's balance like a hidden control panel underneath the fight. Small diagonal pulls create the perfect window for clean knees to the body. Efficient fighters deliver multiple compact knees instead of one giant dramatic strike. Footwork keeps balance alive. The feet quietly repair structure whenever pressure shifts. Small circles create angles, forcing the opponent into unstable positions repeatedly. Relaxed shoulders preserve stamina for long rounds inside the clinch.
Grip pressure stays controlled,
Guiding the posture instead of crushing the neck. Calm breathing keeps the body responsive during extended clinch exchanges. When balance breaks, the knee lands naturally without forcing the strike. Defensive frames quietly block many counters, while offense continues. Controlled pressure gradually drains the opponent's energy and balance. Eventually, the opponent feels unstable even before the next knee arrives. At that moment, sweeps and dumps appear almost effortless. Efficient clinch resembles strategy rather than brute strength. Calm fighters always control the pace inside the clinch. Structure multiplies power while reducing fatigue dramatically. Small mechanical improvements quickly produce devastating knees. Beginners who fix these mistakes suddenly feel much stronger in the clinch. Not because of strength, but because structure finally works correctly. Good clinch training becomes a laboratory for balance and timing experiments. Each round improves posture, control, and striking efficiency. Eventually, the catted clinch becomes a controlled weapon. From this raccoon's analytical perspective, fixing these mistakes turns the clinch into one of Muay Thai's most efficient damage systems.